Shucks. Oh, shucks.
Damn it, why did I think it was such a good idea playing Octopath with one person in my party? Oh right, because I'm an idiot. I wonder how my channel is doing. I haven't been gone for that long. Shit. My channel's not dead, you're dead, shut the hell up. Shield Hero. A show that's garnered quite a big fan base. And for some people, can be quite the controversial topic. I remember I was just watching Crunchyroll and I got a Shield Hero ad. I thought the show looked pretty interesting, and I watched it, and to be honest, I don't regret my decision. I enjoyed Shield Hero. It was a fun show that it wasn't fun. Pressing. The guy got framed for rape. That was not fun. What am I talking about? It was a really good show that deals with really heavy topics, like being framed, slavery, and scariest of all, not being able to hop on that grind. Poor Naofumi. I cry every Tim. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. What does grinding have to do with anything? What do you mean framed for rape? Like what's going on? Well, I guess it's time I start off with episode 1 of The Shield Hero. Naofumi is nothing but a regular average college student with slight otaku tendencies, but unlike you normies, he actually reads the light novels. But while looking through the library, he ends up finding a book called The 4 Cardinal Weapons. After the book nearly gives him a concussion, he decides to read it. We all know the iconic weapons: sword, bow, spear, shield. Wait, shield? But after Naofumi realizes that the book is incomplete, the book takes matters into its own hands and kills him. Nah, he gets isekai to another world where he gets a really cool weapon, a lot of teammates, defeats the main demon lord with the power of friendship, and marries the love interest at the very end. Wait, that's not what happens? That's how it normally goes. Okay. Sadly, that's not the case. In reality, he's actually summoned along 3 other people, whose names I don't remember. Ren is the type of guy who doesn't listen to other people and only does what he thinks is right and what he wants to do. Like during the first wave, when he's literally fighting about how to summon the monster instead of, well, actually summoning the monster, which he was wrong, by the way. He also believes that the world he was brought to is nothing more than just a video game world. So he doesn't care to think about his actions as consequences, which will prove to be a problem later on. The weapon he uses is a sword. Itsuki is a very stealthy guy and would rather go after corrupt nobles than silly dragon. And I honestly don't know what else to say about him. He didn't really get the most screen time. Like at some point in the show, he literally just disappears. Not even the other heroes know where he is. He's just off doing some justice whatever, which, just like Ren, proves to be a problem later on. His weapon of choice is a bow. Motoyasu. Mine's Ho. He is not smart and would rather listen to his gut than actually use his head. Or just does what mine says. Seriously, dude. Think for yourself, come on. And when you do, at least make the right choice. Which is why I absolutely despise him. I seriously don't like him. I know people out there like Motoyasu, but I am not one of those guys. I literally don't like him. And yeah, he does get better later on, but he's still a jerk. His weapon of choice is a spear. The 4 heroes then introduced himself to the king.
Guess that leaves me. My name is Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here. I just wanna let you know you're a stupid fucking cunt. Go ahead and run your mouth, pussy, I don't give give a fuck. You're a stupid piece of shit. You're a stupid fucking bitch. Get the fuck up off my dick. Get the fuck up off my dick. Like, please end your fucking life. Please end your fucking life. I really gotta emphasize, no one cares if you're alive.
Right off the bat, we see that Naofumi is not really well liked by the king. He's showing favoritism towards the other heroes, but why not Naofumi? The heroes are then told about the waves that plague every single country with a dragon hourglass, and it's the 4 cardinal heroes' jobs to defeat the waves and save Melromark. After learning that the 4 weapons don't really work well together, the king assigns them the best of the best adventurers he can find. After all is said and done, Naofumi ends up with a party of 1. No one joined his party. Apparently, this is because of a disturbing rumor going around that the shield hero knows nothing of this world, and all 4 of the heroes should at least have a basic understanding of how the world should work. Which, in my opinion, is freaking stupid. Come on, you wouldn't join a guy's party because of that? You freaking idiots. Eventually, someone from Motayasu's party takes pity on the shield hero and ends up joining his party. Her name is Mine. Well, thank God he managed to get someone on his team, because as we later learn, he physically cannot pick up any other weapon. It just rejects him. If he even tries, it'll just shock his hand and he'll have to drop the sword. But after a long day of leveling up, like 0 levels, Naofumi and Mine end up going into an inn to stay the night at. But when Naofumi wakes up, he finds out that all his equipment has been stolen. His chainmail, his money, everything is gone. Knights then enter his room and arrest him. So the shield hero is thrown into the throne room, where Mine gives her testimony. She claims that Naofumi got stinking drunk and raped her. To which I say, bullshit! They all believe Mine's story instead of Naofumi, so now without Mine, he is alone, without any weapons, and with little means to level up, aside from popping these little balloon monsters. Naofumi is then approached by a slave trader who gives him exactly what he needs. A party member that cannot lie nor defy him. A slave. He was offered a slave. While hesitantly declining at first, he encounters a little raccoon girl who's coughing and is most likely on the verge of dying.
These are the cheapest slaves I can offer you. Other than the dead ones, of course.
Naofumi chooses this raccoon girl because, well, she's sick. And she was cheap as all hell. Like, it doesn't take very long for the two to become inseparable. Raphtalia then promises to forever be Naofumi's sword. And by the way, I just need to say this. Raphtalia won Best Girl of the Year. Okay, can we just like acknowledge that for a second? Raphtalia won Best Girl of the Year. Now, I'm not gonna argue. I think she's a great choice, but I was not expecting that, not gonna lie. I thought Shield Hero wasn't that well known, so I don't hear many people talking about it. But I guess I was wrong. Congrats, Raphtalia, I guess. I actually didn't know this till right now, but Billy Kometz also won Best English Voice Actor for a dub, which personally I think is an amazing choice. I think Billy Kometz did an amazing job with Naofumi. It's because of Billy that I prefer to watch the English dub than the Japanese sub, so I think they made a great choice with this one.
Up yours, pretty boy!
But anyways, the other heroes find out about Raphtalia, and they don't really like the idea of a hero owning a slave. So without Raphtalia ever even hinting that she wants to be freed, Motoyasu decides to take matters to his own hands and duels Naofumi for the freedom of Raphtalia. Between the epic battle between the unstoppable spear and the immovable shield, Naofumi is about to win, except someone decides to interfere, and the winner is Motoyasu. The slave crest is then removed from Raphtalia, and she leaves, leaving Naofumi all alone once again. He starts hating himself. The shield. It's the shield. If he had spawned as the sword hero, this wouldn't be happening to him. It's the shield's fault. So he starts freaking out, trying to break the shield off of him, and basically having a mental breakdown. But in reality, Raphtalia gets pissed and slaps Motoyasu. She said that she never asked to be saved, and that Naofumi hasn't abused her not a single time since she came into Naofumi's possession. Ren and Itsuki also call out Mine on her bullshit, but nothing really comes of it. Raphtalia ends up getting her slave crest back, and they buy an egg. The egg later hatches into an ostrich, Philolio. Naofumi names her Philo, for obvious reasons. Philo then turns very and then she turns into a little girl. A little naked lolly. They soon find out that a village has been overrun by a plague. They then figure out the cause of this epidemic is actually by a dragon that Ren neglected to dispose of. But while trying to dispose of the dragon's carcass, it ends up coming back to life. Philo then ends up getting murdered, which triggers Naofumi's Rage Shield, which once activated, he loses complete control over everything. He ends up coming back to his senses once he realizes that he just hurt Raftalia. But bro, you can't do that. She's best girl of the year. Ren and Utsuki are then talking about how the money they should have gotten from their quest went to someone else. And they both just collectively blame Naofumi. Why you gotta blame him? He just wanted lunch. Come on, man. After the second wave, where Naofumi absolutely annihilates the wave boss, like holy Jesus, Naofumi and company end up trying to go to Shieldfrieden, but get stopped along the way by Melty. Oh, you don't know who Melty is? That's because I forgot to introduce her. She is the king's daughter, but far less annoying than mine. She begs Naofumi to reconcile with the king, and of course, like any logical person would, he declines. But then one of the guards with her tried to murder her. Jesus Christ. Naofumi and the others protect Melty and run away, but this whole incident was recorded and edited in Photoshop, so they made Naofumi seem like a horrible, cold-blooded killer who had just kidnapped Melty. The other heroes end up finding Naofumi, and mine convinces everyone, I still don't know how, she convinces everyone that Naofumi has a brainwashing shield, and that he has brainwashed mine to thinking she's not a captive. What kind of monster do you have to kill to get a brainwashing shield? It's so dumb, I hate mine so much. Our heroes then proceed to barely escape the predicament they were in, and Naofumi entrusts Ren to figure out the dirty secrets of the church. They then decide to hide in Reiknod's mansion, a friendly noble, but that doesn't really last too long. Melty then goes with this other noble, thinking that's gonna clear Naofumi's name. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. They then go into the town that Melty is in, and that brings up a lot of terrible memories for Raftalia. They then push forward to try to save Melty's dumbass, and when they get there, oh, who would have guessed, Melty almost gets killed. Raftalia then finally gets to have a talk with the one who enslaved her entire village, but decides not to kill him. Raftalia then pulls a Spider-Man 1 on this guy and accidentally kills him. We then see more of Raftalia's backstory, and I don't want to spoil this part of the series since it's something that I prefer you watch yourself, since it is something that's really depressing. Then, as it turns out, the noble didn't actually die, and he summons a giant demon monster dinosaur thing from hell that the previous heroes sealed away. Nice job, idiot. They lure the monster away from the town and into the forest to fight it, but that doesn't really work. But suddenly when Naofumi decides to use the Rage Shield, holy shit. Vittoria then takes Naofumi and his team to a safe spot, and then Vittoria proceeds to scold Naofumi about fighting with the other heroes instead of the waves, which is not really Naofumi's fault, but she doesn't really care. She then imprisons Melty and makes Philo fight her. Philo wins because she says she will, which was enough for Vittoria, I guess. Vittoria then fast travels Naofumi to the nearest hero, which just so happens to be Motoyasu. Yay. As expected, he tries to kill our hero, but for a reason that Naofumi wasn't expecting.
Everyone run! We've got to...
Oh yeah, that happened like a couple episodes ago, but I forgot to mention it. Whatever. So they fight until they get shot from above, and this shot is honestly like one of the coolest things Naofumi has done, where he just deflects the equivalent of a bomb with just his regular shield. But oh no, the Pope is a bad guy with a weapon that can morph itself into one of the 4 cardinal weapons. However, can they win? The Pope is using the hormone of his followers to fuel his weapon, to which I say, some Pope you are, Jesus Christ. Well, while our heroes, and Motoyasu, discuss how they fight this guy, Ren and Tsuki show up and attack the Pope. Yep, they didn't actually die, but they would've if it wasn't for the Queen's Ninja Shadow Foot Clan things. They get trapped in some sort of church thing? I don't know. Their attacks aren't working, so Naofumi goes for his Rage Shield and pulls a Mortal Kombat fatality on the Pope.
Fatality.
At the cost of his blood. With Naofumi basically dying, the Queen takes him in and heals him back to full health. Through the Queen, we learn some really interesting things.
You're saying that trash king and bitchy princess summoned us here all on their own?
In this world, the Queen actually holds more power than the King, so the fact that the King would go against the Queen like this is just awful. But not surprising to you and me. So since the Queen knows the Shield hero is innocent, she decides to clear his name and puts mine through a trial and puts a slave crest on her that shocks her every time she lies, and that gives us probably the most satisfyingly best scene in this entire show. I love this part so much. With them being charged with high treason and conspiracy, they are sentenced to death, and rightfully so. And you think Naofumi would be excited to see this day come, but surprisingly, he's not. The execution is held right after the trial, but Naofumi again feels like that this is wrong. Yeah, they put him through hell, but is death really necessary? As the axes are about to cut the rope, Naofumi sees that Mine is begging Naofumi to do something. She is begging the one whose life she tried to ruin. We then proceed to get the actual best scene in this entire show, for real this time. So, funny story. Showing this video, or this part of the show, actually ended up getting my video copyright claimed. So no one could watch the video. But because I still want to show the clip, I'm just gonna voice the voices myself. I'm also gonna make my own visuals because screw them. Hold on! I think the death penalty is too good for these vermin. Death is instant release. Do we really want to let them off as easily as that? Her slave crest didn't react just now. She's got such thick skin, she dares to beg the one she tried to kill for her life, and actually mean it. When you think about that, I wonder if the guillotine could even cut through. That was kind of funny. So I've got a better idea. From now on, the king will be named Trash, and the first princess will be called Bitch. Ugh, Trash? My name's not Bitch. It is now, and it will be for the rest of your life. If you don't like it, you can just die now. It's up to you. By the way, Multi often uses the alternative name Mine when she's adventuring. What about that? Yeah, I guess Bitch needs an adventurer name. How about Whore? Oh god, this is gonna be so bad. I want to be a voice actor when I grow up. This is like gonna be on my resume, dude. Public humiliation is the absolute best choice for this scum of the earth. So Naofumi is finally free of the hatred and harassment he constantly received, and leaves to the front gates on a mission to destroy the waves wherever they may appear. Then I completely forgot what happens with the last 4 episodes, but what I do remember is the beach episode, of course. Shield Hero is about a man who was falsely accused of doing something horrible and left out to die. Naofumi was unwillingly brought to this world and was horribly slandered for no reason. And that's what I liked about it. I love isekai, and this is a direction I have not seen before, and it really captivated me, and I wanted to see how Naofumi would get his bad name fixed. Then it actually happens. So, I kind of lost interest in Shield Hero, if I'm speaking honestly. I think Giga said it best in his collab with the anime man.
I think my biggest problem with Shield Hero was that you watched it for like the one scene that you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
You know, you watched it for like, oh man, these guys are gonna get what's coming to them.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and you're just kind of like, everything else is just kind of air.
Yeah.
Like,
Now that the arc is over, I don't know what to look forward to. Yeah, he's off to destroy the waves, but I'm not speaking for everyone here, but the waves were always secondary for me. Like, they would happen, but when they were over, I completely forgot about them. Naofumi's feud with the world was way more interesting to me, and now that it's over, I just simply don't care. The last 4 episodes felt like paralogs when they introduced a lot of things that I'm pretty sure are going to be very important later on in the series. But don't get me wrong, I love Shield Hero. It's just that I think the whole Naofumi versus the world thing ended way too early. The animation is pretty smooth and the action scenes were so dope, but don't think I didn't notice those 3D models. I personally like to believe you either go all 2D or all 3D. I think that having 3D models in a 2D show kind of ruins the immersion of the show. Yeah, they work sometimes, but these just look like Deus Ex Machina from Mirai Nikki. Also, the people who aren't the main focus of the scene but still need to be in the scene for continuity reasons, just look. They're so freaking adorable! Look at her! She has no idea why she's alive! Problems in this category are very few and far in between. It's not like Black Clover where they just randomly turn to mashed potatoes. So, get on the studio. The characters are all surprisingly really good. Like, yeah, we hate Mine. But you gotta remember, we're supposed to. Because she's literally Satan reincarnated. Yeah, there are the occasional annoying characters, but they all served a purpose. When characters felt mad, you got mad with them. If characters got sad, you got sad with them. Everyone was written really well, especially Naofumi. Yes, buying a slave is bad. Yeah, telling a king to grovel at your feet can be considered a crime, but you understand why he did it. You hate Motoyasu, at least I do, but we know Naofumi is innocent. Motoyasu doesn't. But when you take into consideration the people he's associated with, and being as gullible as he is of course going to be misguided. I would be too. Although I believe in the phrase innocent until proven guilty, so maybe not quite like him, but you get the idea. But all things considered, I believe Shield Hero is really good. If you're sick of isekai like I was back then Shield Hero is a very refreshing take. My dog! Then Shield Hero is a very refreshing take on this whole thing. I personally give it an 8 out of 10. And is a recommended anime to watch later.